And welcome to another day with Zimaleta. In today's video, I would like to talk a little bit about 2006 Sprinter, specifically this shifter here. I'm gonna teach you how to actually remove it and install it, guys. This is a 5-speed shifter. It's like an electronic hydraulic transmission. But the reason I'm actually changing it, guys, I have an ABS issue, and this might be it. Maybe it's not, okay? Technically, I'm throwing parts at it. But before you guys click off and whatever, let me tell you guys something. I have like 6 Sprinter vans. Some of them, the parts vans. Some of them, they're, working vehicles and stuff like that. Including this one. This is a 1,000,000-mile Sprinter, still running. It's like 1,187,000 miles on the Sprinter. So, who am I? My name is Serge, and I make Sprinter videos and all kinds of other videos. Most of my content, what am I really known for, is actually working on these T1Ns here. However, I do actually own 2012 Sprinter, basically 3.0, liter, 6-cylinder engine type of vehicle. I did used to own a 2007, so I'm pretty familiar with that model as well. Currently, I don't have any, well, I do have some, but not on this 2012. I have like some 2016 year, how to change your I guess, belt and stuff like that, and like fuel filter. But what am I getting ready to do, guys, if you do have like a newer type of Sprinter, is I'm going to make a lot of videos related on a 2012 model, basically 2007 and up. 2012 does have a DEF issue and stuff like that, so we're gonna try to see if we could fix it. But before we do any of that, I'm gonna make a bunch of videos explain to you how to remove certain parts and stuff like that, so you guys actually could service it yourself. Truth be told, guys, not a lot of shops really know what they're doing when it comes to Sprinters, and those that do charge a lot of money. So it is very essential, if you only want these Sprinters, to know how to service it yourself. So I am one of the sources, probably like one of the largest sources on YouTube, that has really detailed information Sprinter related. And when you take Mercedes diesel into account, all the electronics and stuff like that, a lot of stuff is going to be very similar. A lot of services are going to be similar. So some of this T1N videos that I have, they're going to be very similar, like especially when it comes to fuel injectors, belts and pulleys, transmission and stuff like that, the drive shaft. I mean, like that stuff is very similar, popping those parts off, popping them on, just a different body, different, type of schematics, just a little bit different. So it's important to try to learn a little bit, and you could do it through my channel. So let's get back to this type of issue right here. Technically, guys, when I have any kind of issues with my Sprinters, and I cover many different problems when it comes to Sprinters, I always figure out what the problem is. Am I a mechanic? No. But I have 11 years of experience servicing my own Sprinter, guys. And for the past 3 years, I've been making videos on YouTube, just like this one, showing you guys how to do various stuff. And I really enjoy doing it, guys. So I actually do plan on having like the largest source on YouTube, if I'm not the largest yet. I definitely plan to be the largest. Currently, I'm at 1.7 million views total for my channel video, so a lot of people already have heard of me. A lot of people watch my videos, and when I visit truck stops and stuff, a lot of drivers and stuff, they run up to me and they recognize me from the videos and stuff, and they're happy to meet me and stuff like that, because I'm a nice guy and I'm really easy to get along with. And the most important thing for me is to show you basically how to do this stuff. I don't charge you guys, for this information and stuff like that. I just have it on my channel, and I get revenue from AdSense. But starting out this channel, I wasn't really planning that it was going to go anywhere. I thought it's going to help a few people, a few of my friends, stuff like that, and it's going to be great, But anyways, guys, when it comes to ABS, ESP, and traction control, there's all kinds of lights that go on, and they trigger various different stuff, and limp modes, and things of that nature. I normally have a fix for every single one of them. Usually it's a brake light switch, sometimes it's an ABS sensor in the back, sometimes it's your fuse, little things like that, okay? But right now, I have a really unique problem, and I've been trying to fix this thing for already I guess months. But I wasn't really at it, trying to fix it and stuff like that. But, I try to figure out, different type of solutions for this type of problem so I could keep going. One of the problems is when ABS, ESP, and traction control happens is that you're not going to have any cruise control. And it's not a huge issue. However, it is a huge issue when you're trying to shift out of park and to drive, and you can't do that because it's completely stuck in there. That's one of the problems. And one of the other problems that once you can't shift that you really might not be realizing right now is that in the back, if you go to your Sprinter and stuff, and when you're hitting the brakes, they're really not working. Essentially what goes on is if you're driving like that in those conditions and you unlock, using a screwdriver and you put it into drive and you don't have the cruise control, so you think that's like the worst that could happen, but truth be told, you're actually driving, it appears to other drivers that you have brakes on all the time. So they might think it's just normal lights being on, but it's actually brake lights, and together with parking lights, they're all on. And when you hit brakes, nothing happens. So there's no way for them to know that you're actually braking, which it's causing a major safety concern, stuff of that nature. So getting back to my problem, now all of these things are fixed. I'm hitting the brakes, all that stuff works, but I still have ABS, ESP, traction control lights on. I tried everything so far, and when I say everything, I didn't try to replace the ABS sensors in the back. Could it be ABS sensors? Sure. Those ABS sensors are used sensors that I installed from another Sprinter. Should something be wrong with them? I don't know. I have all these Sprinters and all these parts, so I could be throwing parts at it. But here's what's going on, okay? Why am I not particularly focused on the ABS sensor? Here's actually what's going on, guys. When this problem occurred, obviously one of the signs I got, it would not shift, and then that problem just went away. But that was the first sign. It wasn't shifting, but it wasn't blowing my fuse either, so that means my brake light switch was good. Brake lights was working, but here's what was going on. Really weird, okay? When I put the reverse light on, reverse lights don't come on. How strange is that? They don't come on. And not only that, guys, the left side on the rear, which is the driver's side, tail lights was working, parking lights and everything like that. On the right side, they wasn't. Guess what was on? The only light is on there is actually the backup light. How strange is that? I didn't do nothing to the electronics, to try to, cause that issue, but that is actually what's going on. And what I did, to solve this issue, I realized that the rear light, the backup light was on when there was somehow like the connection on the left side, actually. It was not all the way in. So once I actually popped it all the way in, that light would just not work completely, like nothing's going on that side. Basically the brake light would come on. If you hit the brakes, the brake light would come on that side, but the actual parking light would not come on, and the other light would not come on. So what I actually did to solve this issue in one of my videos is I actually ran a wire from the circuit board on the left side, the one I actually needed for that lights to come on, to the other side. So now all my parking lights are on. I'm able to hit the brakes and stuff. All that stuff comes on. Fine. Backup lights, they don't come on. Basically, they don't come on. So I'm wondering, okay, at the very first sign when anything happened, I remember my shifter kind of got stuck. It kind of got stuck a little bit on me. So with my hand, I was actually able to force it. I mean, it didn't take much effort. It was like boom, and a little plasticky thing came out, like from the center over there. It's like somehow it was like loose, somehow it was like, I don't know, turned sideways. After this, that's when I started having this issue. So I know there's a lot of information before we even get to this, but guys, the information is more important than this. This is just 3 bolts that's holding this. One electrical connector, one other type of a connector has to do with the shifter, I guess unlocking your steering wheel, and then this shifty little thing. Now, this is complicated to remove. This is complicated to remove. This is kind of complicated. You could break the switch, but I have all the solutions for you guys in this video. This is the introduction, of course, to this thing, and kind of like what I'm doing. That's all I wanted to talk about for about 10 minutes, but I'm going to have a part 2 to this video, and in the part 2 I'm actually going to show you how to actually remove this. But of course, just to get you familiar, bolt there, number 10, Number 10, you're gonna need a deep socket, possibly with an extension or some kind of like stuff like that. To remove this jawbone little thing, if you don't have the actual remover tool, which is gonna be kind of like this shape, I don't. Actually do have one, it's a plasticky one. I'm not gonna use it. It's actually used for removing like plastic things. This I pried out with a screwdriver. I put flathead, and just wiggled it out. That was fine. This plasticky thing gets a little bit tricky. I recommend you watch the video to actually remove this, because I mean, think about it. Look, metal piece is in. It looks like this metal piece is supposed to come out. Should it come out? Maybe. It seems like it wants to come out, and the only thing that's holding it is, let me see. Well, I was thinking these are plasticky things around it. They're holding, like somehow they have the lips, but they don't. So, I didn't read any instructions on this, of course, how to remove it. I knew that it would be a lot simpler to remove the plasticky little thing, and that is a little bit more simple. But anyways, guys, if you like this video, please hit a like. You know, and as I said in the beginning, I just want to kind of like get you guys familiarized with my channel. To those of you that's just clicking and finding my channel, so that you subscribe and you know the help is actually here. One thing I do want to mention, I'm still doing this now. Maybe in the future I'm going to do it less, but right now I'm still able to answer all the questions that come in. Daily I get probably about like 50 questions, so 50 questions, comments, and various things like that. So I'm kind of like able to answer you guys right now. Once it gets really crazy, of course, you know, I won't be able to answer every question. Then I'm gonna have to read all the questions and find out what's the most common questions being asked. Either guide you to a video that I already have, or go ahead and make a video on that type of topic, and then make a list of who asked those questions or whatever, or the general questions is being asked. But what I want to be, guys, is support for you guys for sprinters. Is Mercedes paying for me for this? Like, no. But some of you guys actually said, anybody that's owning a Mercedes printer, like my channel is like a must, you know, to have that, because I help you guys fix the stuff on a budget, like really cheaply. I myself have parts printers, because a lot of times these problems are very, very complicated and they're very confusing, and you will need something like this to try to figure out. And oh yeah, why am I really doing this in 2 parts? Because really there's gonna be like 3 parts, maybe even 4. Why am I saying that? To fix this particular issue, that's the series is going to be like, to fix this ABS issue. I make a whole playlist out of this, so that anybody's having this issue, I'm gonna throw in all kinds of ABS problems that actually do happen. But if this does not solve it, what is my next course of action? My next course of action is actually replacing the ABS module, and that's actually located underneath the hood. I would like to just replace the computer, and I'm actually getting ready to take it off, and like sometime today I'm gonna remove it. I'm gonna observe to see actually how it's made. Is it possible just to pull the computer part of it? Because here's the thing, my computer, the ABS clearing code, cannot actually read those codes, so I'm not able to clear them or anything, because a lot of times when the computer dies for the ABS, you just can't read any codes. It is put enough codes, but you can't read them because it's dead. So the computer might have died. One other, I guess, explanation I do want to give you guys. Let's say you own any kind of other Mercedes besides the Sprinter. There's a thing in the computer for other models. I'm talking about, it could be like SL, CL, S model, E class. There's a thing in the computer that reads how many times you hit the brakes, okay? And after a certain amount of brakes, it basically sends a code saying that you need to replace the ABS module. And what happens is the ABS module really does not need to be replaced. It's not dead yet, but the computer makes it dead, or appear to be dead to the rest of the systems. And there's a fix for it online. There's actually like a little device that's about 20-30 bucks, maybe 50 bucks, depending on its popularity, I guess. And you plug that thing into your OBD2, and it's gonna do some beeps and some other stuff, and it's actually going to clear it. And you have some choices, like how long you want to clear it for and stuff like that. But that fixes the issue, because it's about $5,000 to replace the ABS module, like I guess brand new at the dealer. Of course, we're not gonna do it for that. Like, my whole recommendation is, guys, just find somebody that's selling this thing used. And if you have a parts printer, heck, that's even easier. I guess pop one off and then, you know, do stuff like that. However, I remove a lot of parts, even though I have like the dealer's diagnostics tools. I have like, uh, you know, like all the manuals and CDs and stuff like that on all the older vehicles and newer vehicles. I could technically use that as a guide to replace, and sometimes I did. For, like, you know, stuff like this that you bolt on, it's just really common sense to me, guys, because I've done so many various different things in my life, and I just pull these things off. But if you're gonna go in there and you're gonna try to even pull this off, you might damage the unit, you might damage the ABS unit, and then it's gonna be a problem, because now you're gonna need a new one. And I always recommend, if you have a parts printer, first try to remove it on your parts printer, because if you try to remove it on the one you have, you might break something, you know, and your van might have been driving all this time like mine is, and if I go in there and I try to replace this and I break it, well, now that's it, you know, I don't have any you know, way to drive. And then again, looking at it the other way, if you do already have this part, if you're trying to remove it from your van and you do break it, of course you're gonna learn how to like replace it, and at least you break the one that's not working, and then just go ahead and remove the one that's working. The only problem with that is that you know, when you're throwing parts at it and you're really not sure if that's actually going to solve your issue, they both might be good. So you might have just broke something that was good in the, you know, to begin with, and now you only have one good part. And I really don't even know what this thing's run, maybe like 150 bucks, 200, depending if they're even available. Like, I mean, I wasn't even thinking this is like a part that somebody would need until now. You know, now of course it's kind of like common sense. But anyways, guys, I think it's enough information here. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and like this video, share with your friends, and check out some of my other videos, guys. I have like season 1, season 2, and season 3 for sprinters, and I just put everything in those playlists so that all the other stuff on my channel does not get mixed up, because I talk about real estate, I talk about motivational speaking. There's a lot of stuff that I do, including like talking about expedited business and, you know, things of that nature. But the most important thing is that we save money, because if we don't save money, we're not going to make money, because you know what they say, it's not how much you make, it's how much you spend. So spend a little less fixing your sprinter, have a little more left over, you know, for whatever you want. Maybe for that used parts sprinter, who knows. But take care, guys, see you later.